Hi everyone, today we'll have a writing course. In this course we're gonna learn with you how to write Ielts essays, and as you can remember, Ielts essays could be divided into two groups, and it could be a task 1 and task 2. For task 1 you should write at least 150 words, and for task 2 you should write at least 250 words. So today we'll learn with you how to write task 1 essays, and during the exam you'll be given different diagrams, and the diagrams could be divided into mainly two groups. It could be numerical data and pictorial data. And numerical data can include itself line graph, bar graph, pie chart, table, and multiple diagrams. And another name for pie chart could be the circle chart, and another name for table, it could be a tabular data. And in terms of pictorial data, it could include itself the process, cycle, flow chart, map, and object. And process and map are the common types of the tasks. And today we'll learn with you how to describe maps. And Ielts map questions are the easiest to write. Yes, you don't have to describe any numbers to analyze, and you will be given just 2 or 3 maps to compare. The thing you can do is just comparing. And very occasionally, there might be only one single map, but this is rare, and the maps will be of the same location at different times, and this could be in the past, the present time, or plan for the proposed development in the future. Just imagine you are given 2 maps in past tenses. For the first one you can use the past perfect, for the second one you can use the past simple. Or you are given maps past and the present. For the first one you can use past simple, for the second one you can use present perfect. Or you are given the maps present and the future. For the first one you can use present simple, for the next one you can use a future simple. But you should bear in mind that you should use a passive form of these tenses, and you are required to write about the changes you see between the maps. And after taking your question paper, there are mainly 5 things to do. First of all, you should analyze the question, and after that you should identify the main features. And you can begin your essay by writing the introduction part, and then you can write an overview part, and the last part you should describe the details, and you should describe the changes in your main paragraphs. And there is a step 1. As I mentioned it before, the first thing you should do is just analyzing question. And the format of every academic task 1 question is the same. Here is our practice, and you can see the common question below, and the sample says, and the question says here, as you can see, the maps below show the village of Stockford 1930 and 2010. And the instruction says, summarize the information by selecting and reporting the main features and make comparisons where relevant. That is the instruction. And every question actually consists of 2 parts and 2 sentences. And sentence 1 is a brief description of the graphic, while the sentence 2 is just the instructions. If you follow those instructions, you will complete your essay successfully. And the graphic part, it could be a map or a chart, graph, table, and so on. And actually sentence 2 tells you what you have to do, and you must do 3 things. And the first thing you should do is just selecting the main features, and after that you can write about the main features, and then you can compare the main features. And a step 2 actually identifying the main features, and you should answer the following questions. For example, what time periods are shown? Is it a past or present or future? And what are the main differences between the maps? For this you should find the differences between the maps, and what has been demolished, for example, or what has been introduced, or what has remained the same. And you should also answer the third question, like what features have remained the same over the time period. And most candidates will use some kind of prepositions in order to describe their maps. For example, to the left side of something, or to the right of something, or below the map, or above the map. But most of the examiners will recommend you cardinal directions like north, south, east, or west. And again, you can use north, east, or part of the area, or south, east part of the area. In a step 3 is just writing introduction part. Here, the common thing is just paraphrasing the given topic. There are actually many ways to paraphrase the given topic. For example, you can use the synonyms of the words, or you can change the forms of the words, or you can change the grammar form of your sentence. And here you can see the structure. First of all, you can use the 2 or 3. If you're given 2 maps, you can use the 2, or if you're given 3 maps, you can use the 3. And after that, you can use the maps, and you can use one of these verbs like show, illustrate, depict, and after that you can continue your introduction by writing the main changes expression, and after that you can use the relative clauses, like you can use which, and after that you can use the main verb and according to the tense. For example, if you're given the present and the past maps, you can use the present perfect after the relative clause like have taken place, and after in preposition you can write the name of the city or country. And the last part, you can write the periods like between the year 2019 or today. And I will tell you the sample. For example, the 2 maps illustrate the main changes which have taken place in Tashkent between the year 2020 and today. That is a sample form of the introduction. And here you can see the step 4. For the step 4, you should write an overview, and for this you should give the overall summary of your maps. And here again you can see the structure. First of all, you can use the in general expression. After that, you can use it appears that expression, and you can again state here the name of the city or country. And here you can see the main verb of your introduction overview, like has become a much more modern city. And after that, you can write the major changes throughout the period. And I will tell you one example of this. For example, in general, it appears that Tashkent has become much more modern city with far more transport facilities and shopping centers. That is a sample form of the overview. And the next step is 5. And for this, you should write the first detailed paragraph. And for this, you can here give the details of the maps. For example, paragraphs 3 and 4, your IELTS map essay, are where you include more detailed information. And in paragraph 3, you should give evidence to support your first or the second key features. And step 6 is just writing the second detailed paragraph. And for the fourth and final paragraph, you do the same thing for your remaining key features. And here you can see some useful vocabularies for describing maps. For example, while describing maps, you can see some kind of areas or places and building types. For example, residential area, that is a place where which has lots of houses or is accommodation or some schools. In industrial area, there is a place which has lots of factories. And a commercial area, it is a kind of place which has lots of stores or supermarkets and so on. And a hospital, we know that it's a health facility where patients receive treatment. And zoo, a place where people can go and see many kinds of animals. And post office, that is a place where you can send mail, letters and packages and so on. And fire station, a station housing fire apparatus and firemen. An airport, an airfield equipped with control tower and hangars as well as accommodation for passengers and cargo. And a park is a place, a recreational area where people can play football and have picnics and so on. And skyscrapers, and that is a building type which is really high and tall buildings. And here you can again see some kind of prepositions in order to describe the positions. For example, you can use some kind of prepositions like at the top of your map or bottom of your map, or on the right side of the something or left side of the something, or in the right or left hand corner, or in the middle of your map, or in the middle of the city, and so on, and along and across and opposite. And the synonym of close to could be adjacent to or next to or beside. You can use these kind of prepositions according to the map. And again, you can also write miles if you are given, for example 10 miles from something or somewhere. And again, you can use some kind of verbs like situated or located or positioned around something or below something or inside something or next to something or somewhere. And the next part, you can see the common verbs which could be used in your essays, like demolish. Demolish could be to destroy something. For example, the industrial estate was demolished and developed into a sports ground by the local community. And the synonym of the demolished could be knocked down. For example, the shops were knocked down and replaced with a skyscraper. And flattened, that means to destroy something completely. For example, the factory in the city center was flattened and relocated to the north of the city. And the next is replaced with, for example, the old warehouses were replaced with new hotels and renovated. That means that to reconstruct something or to change something, like the old buildings were completely renovated. And the synonym of the construct could be built. For example, a new factory was built north of the residential area. And the synonym of the build could be also the construct. A harbor was constructed at the edge of the river, for example. And reconstruct, that means to construct something again. For example, the school was completely reconstructed after the passing of the hurricane. And the next is developed into. The industrial estate was demolished and developed into a sports ground by the local community. And extend or expand, that means to make something bigger. For example, the school was extended by adding 2 more buildings. And expand, the residential area expanded southeast by constructing 3 more homes. And relocated to, that means to remove something. For example, the factory in the city center was flattened and relocated to the north of the city and converted into. The factory was converted into apartments, for example, and modernized. For example, that means to develop something. For example, the infrastructure was modernized by converting the dirt roads into concrete streets. And here again, you can see some kind of useful expressions which could be used for your main bodies. For example, in order to describe the most interesting change on your map, you can use this expression. One interesting change is that after this expression, you can state the change. And in order to describe the years, you can use the in preposition. After that, you can put the year. For example, in 2020, there was something or wasn't something, and after the but conjunction, again, you can write here something. It could be the building or place, and again, you can choose the tense according to the year. For example, if you are given the past and the present, you can use here the present form, and it could be the present perfect, has or have, and after that you can use been and build. But you should bear in mind that you should use again here the passive voice in order to describe the changes. And in order to describe the next change, you can use this expression, like another striking change is that after this expression, you can state here the most interesting change again. And in order to describe the locations or positions of your map, again, you can use this expression, like if you look at the north area or the south area, and after that you can state the building types or some kind of changes. And in order to describe the final interesting change, you can use this expression, like a final interesting development, and after that you can state the main verb of your sentence. And here you can use the introduction word, and it could be the synonym of the construction. And after that you can use of preposition, and after that you can use the building type. And in the final part, you can see the sample and model answer. At home, you should analyze it and highlight the key terms. And I wish you good luck for your test. Let's move on the analysis part. For this part, now we will analyze the whole essay. As you can see, there is the introduction part. The two maps show the main changes which have taken place in the town of Castellon between the year 2000 and today. Here is this is the introduction part, and here you can see there's some kind of expressions which could be used in the introduction part. As you can see, the two maps has been written here, and after that here you can see the main verb like show. Instead of using show, you can also use other verbs like illustrate, demonstrate, depict, or reveal, and then you can here see the main changes expression, and after that you can use the relative clauses like which have taken place, and after that here the name of the city and town has been written, and the last part you can see the periods like 2000 and today. That is the introduction part, and the next part is the overview part, and it starts with like that. In general, it appears that Castellon has become a much more modern city with far more shopping and transport facilities. That is the overview part, and the overview starts with in general expression. Instead of using this, you can also use overall, what stands out from the graphic that, and after that the expression it appears that has been written, and Castellon, the name of the city, has mentioned here, and again here you can see the main verb of the overview has become, for example, and here you can see the comparative form of the menu like more, and here after that two major changes have been mentioned here, like the construction of shopping centers and transport facilities. That is the two major changes throughout the graph. And the next, here you can see the main body part, main body one. In 2000 there wasn't any accommodation for students, but a hall of residence has been built near the university. That is the first sentence of the main body, and the writer already mentioned the period like in 2000, that is the past, and the writer also mentioned that there wasn't any accommodation, but today you can see lots of buildings like residence near the university. That means that students can easily leave that place. And after that, the writer also mentioned here that the most interesting change, like another striking change, is that the old market in the west of the city has been knocked down to make way for new shops. That is the second sentence. And instead of using here the knock it down, you can use the synonym of demolished or demolished and so on. And after that you can see the next sentence like for describing the port area. If we look at the port area, it has been pedestrianized since 2000, and a range of entertainment facilities have been built, such as cinemas, bars and clubs. Here the writer mentions the most striking changes in the port area. And the northeast of the city used to be a green area with lots of trees, but the trees have been cut down and a new shopping complex has been constructed. Here again you can see the changes. For example, in the past there were lots of trees and it was the green area, but today you can see this kind of trees and green area. Instead of seeing that, you can see only the buildings like a shopping complex and this kind of trading centers. And here the writer mentioned the final interesting development, and the writer says a final interesting development has been the introduction of bike rental scheme in the city center, and that is the final interesting. So the writer starts the final interesting part with the expression of a final interesting development, and after that here you can see the present perfect, because the period was the past and it refers also the changes in the present. So the writer uses here the present perfect, and the synonym of the construction could be introduction. So the writer here uses introduction, and after that here you can see the of preposition, and it was the most interesting change throughout the map. So the writer also has mentioned this change in the essay. And this essay overall consists of 194 words, and that means that the writer has done the task achievement. And your writing could be marked according to the criteria, like the criteria can include itself the task achievement, coherence and cohesion, grammatical range and accuracy, and lexical resource. If you follow the criteria, you can also get a higher band score from your tests. And that is all for today. Thanks for your attention. At home, you should practice more on this kind of maps, and it could be easy for you to describe any kind of maps. Goodbye.